I'm Kim Doyle-Willie, and you're citizen journalist on the ground, and I'm here today with
Larry Martinez, Associate Director for the Denver Inner City Parrish, Director of Denver Inner City Parrish at College View, and I also oversee our FERN project, which stands for Food Exchange and Resource Network. FERN came out of its, we got funding from the Denver Foundation to collaborate with other food banks in Southwest Denver. One of the things that we identified, one of the challenges that we have in common, is a lack of storage space. We now have this warehouse that is 13,000 square feet, and what it allows us to do is have off-site storage that really allows us to free up the space where we distribute so that all food banks could go towards a client choice model. We've been able to increase our procurement of food with the warehouse, as well as just really collaborate well, because now we have a shared investment. So now we're doing everything from staggering our days and hours when we are open. One of our goals at FERN is that 2 food banks will be open every day of the week, 7 days a week, to folks in Southwest Denver. We don't have any boundaries. We serve anybody who walks through the door. Don't have any income requirements or anything like that. Another goal is to deliver to shut-ins, so folks who can't get to the food bank. The client choice model is really a big deal right now amongst a lot of food banks in Denver, because what we've seen is that there's a lot of waste. Whenever we pre-package a box and just hand it to somebody and say, here you go, we've even looked out our window and seen people throwing it in the trash can. People have given it back to us when we've done food drives. The client choice model really allows them to go through, pick what they'd like, but we also provide recipes for foods that they might not be familiar with, and are also going to be doing nutritional classes to actually teach folks how to cook the food that we distribute, not only in different ways but healthy as well. We've been running a food bank out of the Denver Inner City Parrish for 56 years now. So food banking is one of the important things that we do. We just opened the food bank down in Southwest Denver up a year ago. We are now averaging at our location here 125 families every time that we are open. That is surged high since 8 years ago. We were doing about 35 families each day that we were open. So what we've seen is that the face of hunger has really changed in Colorado. There's a lot more working poor. We've had people call us and ask if we have a back door, because they're ashamed to be in line or wait at the front door, because they've never been in a situation like this before. They just lost their job, or there's some folks where maybe there was two working partners and one has lost their job. So they're still working, but they're working poor. So the face of hunger really has changed for us, and that is why we're focused on FERN. Another concept is the clearinghouse concept, where we would create a statewide database. Farmers markets, grocery stores, or different food sources can have a username, a password, and then go in and put on the system that they have 2 pallets of produce or bakery or whatever it is. We then can see it and decide whether it's cost effective for us to go pick it up, get it to one of our food banks, or just connect a local food bank to that source. So that's the idea for FERN. We really like when we are able to get fresh produce to distribute to our clients. One of the things that we have over at the warehouse that none of us have ever had before, we have 400 square feet of refrigeration and 200 square feet of freezer space. So we are able to provide a longer shelf life, if you will, for produce. When we give fresh produce, it goes a lot quicker than the canned stuff. We are also a recipient of Grab and Give through Whole Foods, which is a lot of healthier nutritional food. We do notice the need to educate people about how to cook healthier. We also partner with Denver Urban Gardens to do community gardens, where folks could grow their own and just kind of really appreciate and live off of that. So that is something that we're working towards. We do have some homeless people that don't have a way to cook, and we do have to give them the pre-bowled mac and cheese and things like that. But when we're able to, if we're spending money, we think about the healthy stuff and what's better, and even if it costs a little bit more, it really is important that we keep that in mind. We also run a rec center that is 5 blocks away from the warehouse. So along with nutritional classes and just trying to provide more nutritional food, we could also offer free memberships for folks to come in and use the facility. So, so just to kind of live a healthier life. That we see a lot of. We've seen a lot of 30, 40-year-olds moving back in with mom and dad, having to move back home. So you will have multiple families under the same household. But in terms of homeless, our location here on 12th and Mariposa sees a lot more homeless people because we are 2 blocks away from the Platte River, where a lot of folks set up camp, and things like that. We're really close to downtown. Across the street from La Alma Lincoln Park, so we see a lot of homeless folks. Our program called Project Su Casa helps homeless people and provides basic toiletries and sometimes just kind of boxes that have just the basics. The face of hunger really is changing. There are a lot of folks who really don't understand what it's like to be hungry. Our shelves could get emptied off every week. We can go through 3 tons of food in a week, and it's still not enough. So it's important that that we're aware of that we're aware of this situation in America.
It's up to us, isn't it obvious? This is a forward thrust, leaving hate in the dust. I said it's up to us, isn't it obvious? This is a forward thrust, leaving haters in the dust. Let's go.